For most of us, Greenland is just that huge, icy place on a map, right? A remote, frozen wasteland on the edge of the world. But now, all of a sudden, it's the subject of this intense and very public American obsession. So what on earth changed? And this isn't just some off-the-cuff remark or throwaway line we can all forget about. No. This is a clear signal that there's been a major shift in U.S. foreign policy, one that has some huge implications for the entire future of the Arctic. So what's really behind this sudden fixation? Well, it's a wild story. It's got everything: climate change, a hidden treasure trove of natural resources, and, you guessed it, a new great game for control of the top of the world. To really get this, you have to understand that the U.S. isn't just expressing some casual interest here. They are openly talking about buying another sovereign nation's territory. I mean, think about that. That's a move that would have been completely unthinkable just a few years ago. It's gone from a forgotten Cold War outpost to a 21st century geopolitical prize. And this isn't just a change in perception. We're talking about a fundamental shift in the global balance of power. Now, what's really telling is the official position. This has been a recurring theme. The administration doesn't seem to care much for the old rules of diplomacy. So when the White House says all options remain on the table for acquiring territory from a NATO ally, well, that's not just unconventional. It's a direct challenge to the whole international order we've had since World War II. You might be thinking, isn't this all about the military? And yeah, the Thule Air Base is still a vital asset. But this new U.S. interest in Greenland, it goes far, far beyond defense. It's about resources, global trade, and really the future of the planet. You know, the U.S. actually has a long and kind of complicated history with Greenland. During World War II, America set up posts to protect it. Right after the war, they offered to buy it for what would be about $1.6 billion today. Denmark refused. Then in '53, the Thule Air Base was built, a critical spot during the Cold War. But after the Soviet Union collapsed, U.S. interest pretty much just faded away. This time, though, it's different. So what's driving this new wave of American interest? It's not the threat of a new Cold War. It's the promise of a whole new kind of gold rush. A few years back, a team of U.S. geologists made an absolutely game-changing discovery. As Greenland's massive ice sheet has started to melt, it's revealing a treasure trove of untapped oil, gas, and those super important rare earth minerals. And the one number that changed everything? 52 billion. That's how many barrels of oil could be hiding underneath Greenland's melting ice. To put that number into perspective, that's more oil than the entire proven reserves of the United States. This isn't just some new oil field, it's a potential game changer for the entire global energy market. And it's not just oil. When you factor in the natural gas and rare earth minerals, the total value of Greenland's resources could be as high as $4 trillion. That is enough money to fund the entire U.S. government for a whole year. But, of course, there's a catch. In 2021, Greenland's own government put a stop to all new oil and gas exploration, mainly because of environmental concerns. So this sets up a classic conflict: economic development versus environmental protection, with the future of the entire Arctic hanging in the balance. And this battle for Greenland's resources, it's really just one part of a much bigger story. As the Arctic ice melts, it's opening up new shipping lanes, new military opportunities, and kicking off a brand new great game for control of the top of the world. The Arctic is warming up at an alarming rate, 4 times faster than the global average. This is creating a whole new set of challenges and opportunities, and it's forcing the world's great powers to completely rethink their strategies for the region. All that melting ice is opening up new shipping routes, like the legendary Northwest Passage. These routes could cut weeks off the journey between Asia and Europe. We're talking billions of dollars in savings for companies and a total reshaping of the global supply chain. And this isn't some far-off possibility. The Arctic shipping boom is already here. In just the last decade, traffic on these routes has surged by 30%, and that's really just the beginning. Of course, the U.S. isn't the only one with its eyes on the Arctic. Russia is rapidly building up its military presence with dozens of new bases. And then there's China, which isn't even an Arctic nation, but it's pouring billions into what it calls an Arctic Silk Road and investing in Greenland. So yeah, this is a 3-way race for control, and the stakes could not be higher. This is the new great game, and every single move counts. The U.S. is upgrading its base and reopening its consulate. Russia is building military sites and planting flags. China is playing the long game with massive investments. The U.S. feels like it's playing catch-up, and it's determined to reassert its influence. With the stakes this high, you can see why the US is considering every possible option, including the one that once seemed unthinkable: buying Greenland. Denmark has been absolutely firm. Greenland is not for sale. But, in a world where it seems like everything has a price, you have to ask, could a deal still be made? So how could the US even pull this off? Experts have basically laid out 3 scenarios. First, military force, the most extreme and something that would shatter the NATO alliance. Second, a straightforward purchase with an estimated price tag in the trillions. But the third path is more subtle. You could support Greenland's own independence movement and then welcome a new, friendly, and resource-rich state into a very close partnership. As the Arctic ice keeps disappearing, a new world is literally being born. The real question is, who's going to control it? The fate of Greenland is still up in the air, but one thing is crystal clear. The race for the Arctic has begun. And in this new great game, the winner won't just control a vast and resource-rich region, they will also hold a very powerful hand in shaping the future of our planet.